Hello, beauties. Welcome to Moms Unboxed, a podcast where I unbox with you the how-tos, tips, and tricks to empower women to upgrade relationships, intimacy, and parenting. I'm your host, Melanie Caroline, a multi-dimensional woman, life coach, lover, and mom who's made a lot of fucking mistakes. If you want to live a sensual and liberated life, you've come to the right space. Don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed because you don't want to miss an episode. Hello, how y'all mamas doing today? I am so grateful to be here. I'm glad you're listening and tuning in. I hope you're having a fabulous week, and if you're not, I trust that it'll turn around for you. So what are we unboxing today? We have been doing a series on meditation, and if you haven't tuned into the previous episodes, I suggest you do so. But I have been talking a lot about my emotions lately and how meditation really helps you process and move through emotions. Meditation helps you become more aware and present. And I have had some realizations the last few weeks that I've done this meditation series. And one is I've been talking a lot about my circumstances, and my realization was how little personal power I have had these past few weeks. And meditation really helps you regain that personal power. And I've talked about how the last 2 weeks have been really shitty for me, when in reality, it's really been the last 2 Fridays. And now I've had a few great days. Like I feel like I'm coming back up. I went through this expansion and retraction and had my little meltdown, and now I'm climbing back up. And sometimes that happens in life, especially as a mom when we're trying to maintain all the emotions, feelings, and sensations that we are experiencing without the time to really process those things. And that's why I think it's so important that moms do practice meditation. Meditation allows you to have a deeper connection within yourself, so you become more aware of your emotions, feelings, sensations, and thoughts. It allows you the space to be more present in your external environment and around your children and your partner. It reduces stress and allows for more ease by regulating your nervous system. It allows you to flow, be happier and patient. Meditation also helps you with lowering your blood pressure. It improves your sleep. It helps with coping with symptoms with anxiety and depression. And there's also studies out there that shows that people who meditate regularly, it reduces the size of your amygdala, which is the center for your emotional responses. So people who are in a constant survival mode state, their amygdalas are larger in size. Whereas if you were in a state of ease and flow and practice regular meditation, it's proven that your amygdala decreases, and instead of reacting to something, you respond. You have that space to really think about what it is and how it is you want to respond to a certain situation, circumstance, or person. And mindfulness also helps with the mommy upgrade. Kids thrive when their mother thrives, legit. And the transformational journey that meditation can move you through also helps you become more aware of the behaviors and interactions, and they begin to shift naturally. You become more patient and happier and fun to be around. And it's not like a switch that happens, but it's like, oh, I'm noticing this about myself. I'm noticing that when I'm meditating, when I'm practicing mindfulness, when I'm practicing my self-care, I am literally more patient with myself and my kids. Creating meditation space is also important. You need to find a quiet space, schedule some time, find something that's symbolic to the intentions that you want to have for yourself with your meditation practice. So it could be a candle, a crystal, a picture, a mala, and it's something that reminds you to serve yourself in that moment. You also want to make a commitment to meditating. And I know it's hard to make a commitment to do self-care, but meditation can happen in many different ways of practice. It doesn't always have to be a formal concentration meditation. Mindfulness is a practice of meditation. When you become more mindful of your life and the things that you're doing, it's like it brings you to this present moment of awareness, and it becomes meditative. If you were washing the dishes, for instance, you're being mindful of the soap and the suds on your skin, how the sponge feels in your hand. You're focusing on how your feet feel on the kitchen floor. It's noticing the sounds that the plates and the cups make. It's like you're totally in that moment, and that is a practice of meditation and mindfulness. If you're interested in more practices that you can do in your busy mom life, I have a free PDF on reducing stress and living with more ease and flow by practicing meditation and mindfulness. And I teach about how to create inspirational spaces, what it means to meditate, the 4 foundations of mindfulness, and I also throw in different meditation practices that you can do on your own or with your kids. So get that PDF at I am Melanie Caroline. It is in my bio, or you can get it on my Facebook at Melanie Caroline. It's all in my link and it's in the description, so I try to make it real easy for y'all. Now that I've given that debrief on meditation and mindfulness, the last series in this saga is going to be about awareness of your thoughts. This is such a big one and could be really broken down into several different categories. But I wanted to talk about this briefly and giving an overview because thoughts have so much power, or at least we give our thoughts so much power. Our thoughts and our mind are very influential in the way we go about our lives and what decisions we make, what inspires us, what turns us on, what turns us off. And a lot of that also should be coming from the body. We talked about in one of the series is mindfulness of the body. Because so many of us do not tune in to the body itself, we listen a lot to our minds. And that's why a lot of therapists and coaches say drop out of your mind and into your body, because you're going to receive messages from your body and your innate wisdom rather than ego and negative thoughts and intrusive thinking, which impacts us daily. I don't know if any of you mamas have heard of the monkey mind, but it is a legit statement in the meditation community where they describe the mind as being the monkey mind because it is literally just jumping from one thought to the next thought to the next thought to the next. And some of those thoughts are wholesome, they're unwholesome, they're neutral, they're negative, they're positive. We define things as good or bad, when really thoughts are just thoughts. And it took me a while to grasp this because I wanted to place meaning behind the thoughts. And so many times we want to place meaning or tie an emotion with the thought that we are having. Within my meditation practice, I still have to be like, okay, that is just a thought, a point of curiosity. Training the mind is a continuous practice which creates an innate wisdom and integrates into our body, speech, and our mind. So when we practice meditation continuously in our daily life, we become more aware of the self, including our thoughts. We become extremely aware of the mind, of its hindrances. We become aware of what lights us up, what is ego, what is not. There are so many different intricacies of the mind that we become more conscious to them. Even things that lie within the unconscious, we become aware of them through our meditation practice, through our openness and willingness to allow those things to arise. And the things that you may uncover as you go deeper within yourself are limiting beliefs or stories that have been cultivated throughout your life, and they become so ingrained within you that you don't even realize it's there. So an example I have to give is my partner. He has a justification for everything. And I've been pointing this out to him. And he and I talk, like we talked for 4 hours today. We talk about everything. And I love that about us. But sometimes when I bring up things that he does, there's like a defense mechanism there. He doesn't want to become aware of it, or he's not admitting to it. until later, until we talk about it further. And it's this justification has been so deeply ingrained within him through the Air Force that it was enlightening to me to understand where these justifications come from. Where do this innate nature come from to be, to be justifying things that don't need to be justified? And when we talk with our partner about limiting beliefs or stories or parts of our innate nature that might not be wholesome, we have to be willing to be open and curious about what our partner is telling us about our habits or routines or our nature or things that may be lying in the subconscious that other people are seeing within us. We don't want to admit to ourselves that those things are there. And that's how those thoughts start to hinder us. Because instead of being open and curious and having an open heart when these things are discussed with us, we want to be defensive. We want to get angry. We want to not admit those things to ourselves. And that causes deeper projections and barriers in relationships. If you want to have those deeper conversations with somebody, whether it be your partner, a friend, a coworker, asking if you can point something out to them, or you've made an observation and would they like to hear it, and being okay with accepting an answer of no, or when you do start to explain it to them, you do notice that they're getting defensive or they're not wanting to actually admit things to themselves, is when a good pause and being able to identify, hey, they're not ready for that yet. Because our thoughts can be so powerful that you might have the kindest heart and the deepest sincerity of pointing something out, but they might be internalizing it and thinking that they're bad, they're wrong, they're not valued, they're unworthy. These are common thoughts that come up within all of us, especially around going on dates, for instance. Or maybe you're up to bat for a promotion, but you're comparing yourself to the other person that's supposed to also be up for bat for the promotion. And you can't stop telling yourself how, you could have done this better, or you're not good enough, or you don't have the skills, or whatever it may be. That's when we allow our thoughts to take control instead of dropping into your body and dropping into what you know as a person is that you're badass, you're capable, you can do anything that you set your mind to. Like you've been working hard for that promotion, or you've been preparing yourself for a date and you look damn good and you're smart and you're beautiful and you're knowledgeable. Instead of letting those thoughts and those feelings and that knowing come to the forefront of the mind, is we allow the negative intrusive thoughts to sit in the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give you a story. Okay, here's a story. Story time. I went to a women's to watch event. And this was just like last week, y'all. I've been really working on putting myself out there, getting known, working through my own resistance and knowing when my thoughts are being intrusive. And it's in the evening time. So I'm looking cute, looking real good. I'm wearing ripped jeans, a long sleeve black shirt with a really cute white and gold jacket. I'm feeling myself, wearing brown boots. I think I look good. But in the day, I'm like, well, I should change so that, I look more business professional. Like I want to dress up a little bit more. Well, I was feeling good in my outfit that I was wearing. And I was like, I don't feel like changing. So, of course, my ass does not change, even though I feel cute, look cute. I'm looking around, how you do when you are at an event and you're looking around all the ladies in the parking lot, comparing what you're wearing to them. Ooh, they look cute. They look good. I should have worn my business attire because let me tell you, 98% of the women that went to this event were all in cute ass business attire, real professional. Like they looked really good. They did it up a little bit more than what I did when I walked in there with some ripped jeans. My automatic thought was, oh fuck, I should just go home. Yep, don't even need to go in that room because you can already tell you do not look the part. You're not wearing cute ass business attire. You are wearing ripped jeans in this very beautiful venue space. I felt so out of place, and I was having the most intrusive thoughts. I didn't belong. I didn't look good. I dressed wrong. I should have just listened to myself. And then I was shaming myself for not listening to myself. You know, what you do when you're not listening to your intuition is that we shame ourselves. I was having all the intrusive thoughts. But you know what I did? I said, nope. So I said, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to listen to those intrusive thoughts. Yes, they're going to sit there. They're going to be in my mind. I am aware of them. But you know what's more powerful than those intrusive thoughts is my own damn willpower. And the knowing that I do belong there. Sure, I should have, maybe changed, but I didn't. But you know what? I wore that outfit really well. I thought I looked really good. It's an energy. And I realized something. I said, people are not going to remember what you wear. They're going to remember how you make them feel. So every interaction that I had, I tried to make another woman laugh. I love making people laugh. And that's what I did. I got myself a glass of wine and I walked around awkwardly by myself because I went to this event by myself. So I'm by myself in my ripped jeans with my glass of wine. I walked around the little booths, made some little small talk, chitter chatter, and everybody really enjoyed me. My energy, they were smiling, laughing, their body language wasn't closed off. Now, of course, there were some women that looked at me like, what are you wearing? But you know what? That's another intrusive thought, right? Right there, that intrusive thought of I'm going to assume that someone else is having ill will towards me or doubt or they're like, what are you doing here? That's an intrusive thought in itself, is that assumption right there, is that we assume too much what other people think about us when really we don't know what they're thinking at all. It is our subconscious coming forward, our doubt coming forward, but we're projecting it onto them, making it seem like they're the one that's the problem. No, the problem lies within the mind. Your mind is the problem. It's the intrusive thinking. It's the belief that you legit don't belong somewhere. Now, a year ago, I would not have even fucking stepped foot in that room. I wouldn't even signed up for that thing. I had to pay myself some money to get into that room. And I did it. And so I was there. I even made fun of myself because this is what I do when I'm not comfortable, is I let my uncomfortability be known. I put that shit out on the table. I'm standing having my little appetizers and drinking my wine. Yes, by myself at a cocktail table. Believe me, all the thoughts were there. I was completely aware of them, and me and my negative thoughts, we just talked to each other. I said, you know what? That's fine. I'm going to eat my appetizer. I'm going to enjoy being here. So these ladies walked in, and they said, oh, can we share the table with you? And I said, well, yeah, please do. I won't feel so awkward standing here by myself eating alone. And they all laughed at that. They thought that was humorous because we've all been there. And I wish we could just lay this stuff out on the table. Yep, I feel fucking awkward for being here by myself. Oh, I even said something about my outfit. I said, oh man, I feel weird because I'm wearing jeans. I'm not only wearing jeans, I'm wearing ripped jeans. And nobody wearing no jeans in this room. And they all thought it was funny. They told me I looked good. I said, okay, I do look good. Thank you. Thank you. So it's really about a matter of perspective when it comes to your thoughts and your thinking. Right? No one else in that room could have been thinking, yeah, she looks like she's out of place. I made it known. I put my uncomfortability out there because it makes me laugh, because it reduces the pressure of the intrusive thinking that I'm having about myself in that moment. And I make people laugh doing it because it's relatable. People know what that feels like. I don't know if men feel that way. Do men ever feel like they walk into a room and feel out of place? I think that's an interesting topic. How much do men feel out of place versus women who feel out of place? Because I feel like women, instead of feeling inspired by them, sometimes we can compare ourselves to them. Which, if you're doing it in a way that's empowering, sure, like someone being inspirational to you. But that doesn't mean that you're going to disintegrate your own light for anyone else. You are your own light. And you have your own mind. And you have the power and ability to shift the intrusive thinking, to be aware of them, but not indulge in them. Your thoughts are powerless unless you give them the power. So even when I'm at this Women's to Watch conference and I'm wandering around the banquet hall trying to find a spot, asking people, can I sit here? They're telling me no, this table is full. And I'm just feeling like a damn idiot wandering around that room. But I didn't let it stop me. I knew I was supposed to be in that room. I belonged in that room. I had the confidence to be in that room. And at the end of the night, I met one of the keynote speakers, and I have no doubt in my mind that that interaction was meant to happen, and that's why I was supposed to be there. If we allow our intrusive thinking to make an impact on our decisions, we won't place ourselves in a space that encourages us to grow and evolve. And I had to move through the resistance to be in that space in order for me to step up into the person that I know I'm meant to be. I know that I will be evolving into one of the greatest leaders. I can't do that if I'm allowing my thoughts of not being good enough, no one believes me, fear of failing. I have so many fears within my mind that I have to constantly put them on check. I have to be like, nope, I see you there. Let's investigate. Let's talk. Let's discover what's really in the fear. And that's why I write letters to emotions. I legit will meditate and have conversations with my fears. Because I'm not resisting the fear. I'm making friends with fear. I'm wanting to understand the fear. Same with negative thinking. Like, I want to understand where the negative thoughts are coming from. Are they coming from a place of insecurity or jealousy or envy? Why don't I like this person that I'm around? Is it because I don't like the way I feel when I'm around that person? It has really nothing to do with the person. Do I not like the thoughts that arise about that person? Okay, then what is the thought? Why is the thought there? Because although thoughts are just thoughts can be gateways into understanding where it's rooted from. And we all relate to things differently. It's the projections and interpretations that form our beliefs and our reality. When in fact, reality is constantly shifting. Like, there is no one reality, because as soon as you change the circumstances or change the environment, the reality in itself, it shifts. And so our thoughts are constantly shifting based on our environmental circumstances, what we see from our partner. It's like when you see a partner hugging a woman and you get jealous, it's not because your partner hugged someone. It's because your thoughts and perceptions of what that means, it's not the hug itself that shifted your entire reality. It's something within your mind got triggered, and your thoughts then perseverated, and you might have been thinking, oh, what does he want to do? So you see your partner hugging someone, you automatically get jealous, and then all these thoughts start happening. I'm not good enough. She's prettier than me. You start questioning their behavior, their intentions, when really a hug is just a hug for a hug. People like it. But we make it mean something based on our own perception, our worldview, what we've experienced in past relationships, right? So now in the next relationship, because that experience occurred, you're going to have that happen again in a relationship, and you're automatically going to have those thoughts. Oh, you're going to cheat on me. I'm insecure. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not wanted. All those thoughts start arising when those are just the thoughts. Thoughts are deeper ways for you to understand where the insecurity lies so that you can adjust that, so you can heal that within yourself. I totally understand what it's like to be jealous, to have envy, to experience all those emotions and the thoughts, while also knowing that my thoughts are just thoughts, and yeah, they might be fueling some deeper parts of me, but I understand that I'm not going to allow the intrusive thinking to have power over my experiences and the way I perceive things. Especially as a bisexual woman who's in an open relationship, you could probably grasp, maybe not, a little bit of why understanding my thoughts and my insecurities are so important, because that shit could really be off kilter, and then I'd be real trouble because I'd go crazy cuckoo nuts and it would affect my relationship. Instead, I just sit back, I sit with the emotions, I sit with the thoughts, I express my emotions and my thoughts to my partner so that he and I can talk it out together. And if I'm needing any extra support or reassurances, that's there for me. Being able to understand your thoughts and where they're coming from is going to support your relationship, because now you can explain and express yourself on a deeper level to your partner. And that's what I do love about meditation and mindfulness, is that you do get to discover those deeper parts of yourself, and you get to explain it to your kids, your family, and your partners if you wish to do so, if you wish to open yourself up like that. But at least that gives insight to how a person does respond to the way they are. I ask my partner a lot, what are you thinking? Because one, I don't want to assume what someone's thinking. Two, I don't want to come up with my own perceptions on why they looked the way they looked or said the way they said something. It's always a better idea to be inquisitive rather than assume. It also helps you realize where you are not being mindful of your thoughts, when you are having behaviors and consequences to actions, but instead of taking accountability for them, we distract ourselves with quick fixes like, eating carbs, eating chocolate, drinking, gambling, whatever it might be. And we rely on those things instead of looking to understand ourselves more so that we can alter or fix or resolve and heal those hindrances that we feel as humans. When we meditate, we can become aware of our awakened mind, our conscious mind, and even parts of our subconscious mind. The way we become open to those things is by sitting with compassion, being with truth and love, and having a support system to support our healing journey, to help us understand more about ourselves. I can't count how many times Donnie and I have had deep, intimate conversations about the inner workings of ourself. And we have to do this with people we trust. So when we are open-hearted and we're in this state of compassion and curiosity is when we can really start understanding the mind and how we function. If we want to feed into the negative mindsets, we can. If we want to feed into a more positive mindset, we can do that too. I'm a realist. Other people are optimists. Being a realist, I'm oftentimes labeled as being a negative person, when within my mind, my thoughts, I'm always doing like risk analysis assessments, and I look at patterns of behaviors or events or circumstances. Other people will call that negative because other people just want to assume good, positive things, which I love that type of person. I need those people in my life to keep me on the higher end of having hope for things, rather than assessing risk benefit analysis for everything. When you notice a thought, you can say, yep, the thought's there, and now I'm going to redirect that thought. Or, hey, it's a passing thought, because thoughts are impermanent. So if you are fixated on, why you might not be feeling worthy or valued because your partner hugs someone, like, that that's a thought that's there. In reality, your partner fucking loves you with all their heart. If you continue to feed the thought, talking to your girlfriend about how you hug this person and making it mean something bad, then that's the way you're going to perceive it. Just like if I think that Donnie's going to find this chick that is like so beautiful and powerful and smart, which there are several out there, but that I'm replaceable, which is right now, that's my negative thinking. That's my thought right now, is that I'm replaceable. Well, guess what? I'm not fucking replaceable. If he wanted to be with someone else, it wouldn't be because he's replacing me. It's because that's what makes him happy. Wow, that was like, speaking that out loud. It's like, yeah, we oftentimes want to make things mean things about us and who we are and our lack. And it's not that at all. It's, hey, those are intrusive thinkings. Those are limiting beliefs and stories somewhere within your lineage. Things have come up for you and that's what you tied it to. But in reality, in your future self and the way you want to think and be, it's nothing about you. You're powerful, you're great, you're smart, you're loving, you're beautiful, you're kind, you're compassionate, you're all the fucking things in the world. You are the one. And, things happen in life. Doesn't mean it's about us. And when we can understand that more, There are going to be so many more powerful women walking this earth. They're standing in their power. They're owning who they are. They feel valued. They know their worth. They know how fucking badass they are. Yeah, we're going to place ourselves in uncomfortable situations, and those thoughts are going to arise, just like me with Women's to Watch. Fucking terrified, feeling awkward by myself. Well, I wasn't terrified, but I fucking felt awkward as fuck. But guess what? I'm going to put myself in that situation knowing how badass I am, knowing that I belong at that table and in that room and in that space with other powerful leaders. I belong there regardless of what I'm wearing. I own my energy. I took them selfies by myself with people staring at me. I didn't let those intrusive thoughts get to my head. Just like you might have intrusive thoughts. Well, am I a good mom? Are you a fucking good mom? What do you think about it? Are you allowing someone to tell you you're not a good mom? And are you letting that get to your head and feed those intrusive thinkings? No or yes? Where do your insecurities lie? How do those intrusive thoughts feed that insecurity? And where do you get tied up there? And how do you get unfucking tied? How do you do that for yourself? And that's part of meditation and mindfulness. That's why I believe in it so fucking much. We get to choose what we want to think, how we want to behave, how we want to interpret things. We can go from negative mindset to positive mindset. It takes discipline and work to get to a space of clarity and enlightenment, but you can do that. You can choose, I'm going to meditate every day, some type of meditation and mindfulness practice. I'm going to tune in with myself. I'm going to drop into my body. I'm going to understand the thoughts. And in the practice, meditation does not mean you're sitting there quieting your thoughts. This is a time to reflect and contemplate upon your thoughts. Like the last few weeks, I have a lot to think about. I have a lot to reflect on and contemplate. I have some digging into my fears to go. I have some healing to do, processing to do. And that's okay. That's part of healing and evolving as a woman, as a mom, is like that drive to be a better person so that you can love yourselves, so that you can care for yourself, make yourself a priority. Because there are moms walking this earth that see so little of themselves that they don't give a shit about their self-care. Their life is solely about their children, and that's it. And that's beautiful that there are moms out there like that. But what's not healthy is thinking that you don't have a place in your life to take care of you. So if you are a mama out there, I'd love to hear from you. I hope this was empowering for you, knowing that you are worthy, you are valued, and thoughts, they're gateways to deeper discoveries within yourself to work out. This week, I would love for you to set the intention to just sit with your thoughts. See what arises. There's a lot of dumb shit that comes up in the mind. It really is. I've had a lot of dumb thoughts lately. And you just watch those float away. You think about, is this a wholesome thought? Is this a thought that I want to give my energy to? Or is this a thought that I can just release? It's unwholesome. It's not life-giving. It's not creating any positive sensations or feelings in my body. This is something I can let go of. If your grocery list comes up, think about, what is it about the grocery list that keeps coming up? Is it that need to stay busy? Is it that I am allowing myself fucking 5 minutes of time for me, but my brain's not allowing it because I feel like I have to be in a constant doing mode? There's so much that we can discover about ourselves when we start to understand our thinking and our thoughts and our mind. And it's doing this practice, this labeling of thoughts of wholesome, unwholesome, neutral, understanding where the thoughts come from. It's when you open yourself to a place of love and compassion for your own being and self-acceptance. This is the pathway to living a liberated and sensual life, y'all. Like being unboxed, unboxing yourselves from the intrusive thinking and the thoughts that fucking torment the mind. And it's not easy, and I'm not saying that meditation and mindfulness is the only way to do that. I'm saying it's fucking worked for me, and I'm a testimony to that. I've discovered a lot of shitty thoughts and internal things about myself that I've had to really face, and I have more to face. But each time I do this, I love myself deeper and deeper, and I become a better mom because I identify shit that I have to do to be that woman that I know I am to be, and a self-leader and an inspiration and an advocate. All that takes going through the resistance and reprogramming the mind. All right, ladies, I've gone on and on about thoughts, and I hope you can hear the passion that I have around meditation and mindfulness. Don't forget to get the PDF. It's in the description. I really believe that's going to help kickstart your meditation practice and help reduce stress and live with more flow and ease, baby. And who doesn't want that as a mama? I know I sure do. Don't forget to live a liberated and sensual unboxed life. Until the next time, sunshine. Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Moms Unboxed. If you have a topic or relationship question, connect with me at I am Melanie Caroline. And don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed. May you live a liberated, sensual, and unboxed life. I'll be chatting with you next Wednesday for another episode. Until the next time, sunshine.